The biggest waste of time for students when they're studying, and I mean actually studying, not just sitting on social media, is a principle called overlearning. It's where you attempt to learn something that you already understand. But how do you avoid it? How do you reinforce your recollection of the material just at the precise moment that you're about to forget it? That's what we're going to look at in this video. There are a couple of principles that I want to address first before we actually get into the how-to. The first is the law of diminishing marginal productivity. This concept states that you only need a certain amount of input in order to achieve your maximum results. Beyond that point, the costs outweigh the benefits. The next thing I want you to understand is the Ebbinhaus forgetting curve. The curve suggests that retention of material is related to the time that's passed since you've learned it. The more time that actually passes since you've learned something without any effort on your part to actually retain the material, the worse your memory becomes of that material. You'll have just as deep an understanding and your memory will be just as vivid. The only difference being you haven't wasted an absurd amount of time trying to relearn it. Sounds good, right? Time to take advantage of it. Download Anki SRS. SRS means spaced repetition software. It's a digital flashcard system with a built-in spaced repetition algorithm. Write a question on one side and your answer on the other. You know how to use flashcards, I'm sure. Anki will only show you the flashcard once enough time has passed that you're then due to forget it. And it will only show you at that moment that you actually need to remember that information. At first, you'll need to review the information a couple of times in a single day. Then you'll need to review it a day later, then a couple of days later, then a week later, and so on. The time gradually increases the more repetitions that you do. The more repetitions that you do, the deeper the information becomes ingrained within you. After a while, you'll only need to review that information once per year to guarantee that you don't forget it ever. That, sure as heck, saves you a crazy amount of time compared to the hours and hours that you would spend the night before an exam cramming all that information, even though you'd already learned it once before. It's shocking how little information there is in an entire year's curriculum if you actually learn that information sort of day in, day out as the year progresses. Students are so used to studying everything in the exam just a few days before the exam actually is upon them. Implement Anki in your life now, and trust me, you will drastically improve your grades while saving an absurd amount of time studying compared to your previous history of studying. I'm hopefully going to be posting a new video each and every week. And if you've got exams on top of you now, and you haven't actually studied the content for those exams, then don't fear. Follow a link in the description to my blog where you can purchase my new product, Didn't Study, It's Not Too Late. In this product, I show you step by step how to cover the entire year's curriculum in just a short amount of time, where you're not cramming the information, but you're learning it on a much deeper level.